Hey, we're recording. Look at that. Welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown, where we take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up this week. And this week, I can guarantee you, is better than last week because, honestly, any internet sensation might be. Artie knows that I'm speaking and Artie knows that he can get in my way and I'll pay attention to him. But you know who's more important than Artie? You are. You are all more important than Artie. You hear that? I'm recording this a little bit early, but we still have some patrons to shout out that Artie's going to do right now. Artie's got some new patrons to thank. Don't you, Artie? Mwah. We've got Jeff. We got Jason. So huge shout out to newest patrons, Jeff and Jason. Thank you so much for jumping on board. Actually, Jason, I had that link up and then I closed it. Jason has some incredible inserts. If you're looking for insert making, he was sharing them in our little insert section of the Discord, and I'm going to give them a friggin' shout out because they're awesome. They really are. Like, look at this Red Cathedral one. Look at these finger holes. It was my nickname in high school, and also very important when you're building an insert so that you can easily grab these boards, put in the contractors, and that. If you need some good inserts, well, check out JS500 on printables. These are all free. He's just sharing this with the community because he's the bomb, because we get great members of the community. So I wanted to give that as a shout out. That actually makes the week. Honestly, that's probably the pick of the week is go get a friend with a 3D printer and then have them print one of those awesome things. Also, huge shout out to Ben. Honestly, Ben, I have to say it for the whole world to know, you're better than Maggie. I love you more than Maggie. It's the truth. It's out there. Also, Ben's been working on his own stuff too. He showed me this really cool Monster Hunter unboxing, like a quick unboxing, kind of like an unboxing trailer. I hope I just didn't give everybody your idea. Well, even if I did, yours is going to be better when Ben gets his channel up and running. Obviously, I'll keep you all posted for that. So just, huge shout out to all the members of my community in the comments, on the Patreon community especially. You're all fantastic. I love spending time with you. Really, you make everything okay, even when your computers, well, they look like this. Everyone can see my emails. Even when your computers, well, they look like this, and I'm really looking forward to editing on this later this week. Let's close it so it still has some life left in it. I can still AirPlay, though. I'm probably going to use that to hopefully edit while I get a new machine. Sometimes they just go. Good thing I was looking into it and considering it already. Anyway, we got a big week this week. Nothing's going to be better than the dance party that you just saw and Jason's inserts, but we owe it to ourselves to look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week, and that is exactly what we're going to do, or at least the ones that look interesting, and if yours isn't mentioned, well, I probably missed it. I probably just missed it and forgot. It's not because it doesn't look interesting, I swear. Okay. I'm going to start with this. Dungeon Maker Deluxe. You can play as the Dungeon Master, build your dungeons, and crawl your opponent's dungeon. And I was looking through this a bit before I started filming, and I didn't quite get far enough to be able to tell you about it, so I'm probably going to have to take a pause and figure that out. But this does look like a little interesting print and play. £4, $7 Canadian. You're going to fortify your own dungeon's layers with defenders and then crawl into an opponent's dungeon. What makes DMD, which is, they just started with DMD instead of D&D. What makes it special? Well, you can't read any of those. There's no real rule book, which is, why I wasn't that interested, but they do have a few videos here that are pretty quick. I also love in these that the creator's name is Big322012. That is a big number. My name on Steam was Big Butt Bobby 6969, but I changed that for professional reasons. It was ironic, okay? It was ironic, but I thought that would be a very funny name if you were playing against somebody. But basically, it seems pretty simple. If you look in here, you've got the dungeon, and then you're going to play a card, and it's going to have some symbols on it. You're going to put those symbols in there, and then you're going to have to crawl make the most difficult dungeon, and then crawl through your opponent's dungeons. Seems kind of neat. I like highlighting print and plays. Go check this one out if you're interested. It's only £4, $7 Canadian, so it's around the same standard. That's DMD, Dungeon Maker Deluxe, not DND. That's over. This is better. comes before D&D. So check that out. All right, let's move on to Altar, Realm of the Gods, a card game for 2 to 5 players where you build shrines and discover hidden altars as you fight enemy gods and protect your realm. This music sounds like it should support my computer screen. Oh, you better... Oh, that's so heartbreaking. But maybe it's this... I'm kind of bracing it at the back. And it's working because I'm bracing it at the back. Oh my goodness! Because I'm pushing that in. If I release it... Oh. I gotta go figure this out. I'll be back. We'll figure it out. Come on, focus. 25 euros, I like that price. See, look at this. Way to go, Altar. You tell us the price, that's fine. And then gameplay, rulebook link right here, links to watch it played, and Tabletop Simulator. Like, that's how you do it. Give the people what they want. The people being me. I'm the people. I'm people. Long ago, when humans were still primitive. We're not right now. Seems like we are. Gods ruled the world. I like this too. Cheeky. The oldest player becomes first player. Except if an ancient god is participating, then he always begins first. Because he is the oldest of all. So it's not the best rulebook. It's not the best rulebook. Really. It's pretty confusing. There are a bunch of cards that have one-time uses that you can use for free. These are sort of reaction cards. Basically, you want to get 3 sets of these symbols, it looks like, the ritual symbols, because then you can replace them with indestructible shrines. But you also need altars to turn into shrines. It's a bit confusing, and their explanation here doesn't give me much faith in it, honestly. It also seems a bit confusing. Guess I should watch one of those videos, because they're probably less confused, or were confused, and then now can make me not confused. Okay, what's the combo of the rulebook? It's fine. It's just like your followers' abilities, these people will give you altars, and then you need to play priestesses to activate those altars, and then you can also have things that are protecting you. There's a lot of playing cards that kind of screw people over. It doesn't really seem like that interesting a game. I like the price point, 25 euros. Do I like the price point? No, I take it all back. 25 Canadian, I would like the price point at. So 20 US. But for me, it comes to 38 Canadian. It would be like $60 game, and this is absolutely not it. I'm a lot of these games I look at, I'm interested in trying. To be honest, I'm not interested in trying this at all. I think this doesn't look that great. But if you like little card play and hand management, maybe this is interesting. Anyway, that finishes May 10th, Wednesday at 2:02 p.m. Next up, what's really good, we've got someone stealing the concept of life, the game of life, known to be the pinnacle of all board games. Now you can be part of this great salvation project, acquiring unimaginable wealth and supernatural powers. You can turn into a ghost and maybe escape from a world where this game tries to exist. Let's move on. But he's happy about it in his sweatsuit, so you know he's a hip pastor. It's like, just do any market research at all, really. Just the bare minimum would be good. I would love to fight for a fairer and more loving world, honestly, and that's why this game can't exist, because I don't want to live in a world that produces another version of life. Although, to be fair, I am happy that life exists, because then I get the great line in a rap that I did called, if life is a game, my outcome's been decided, because I'm killing it, I'm winning it, and I'll die 20-sided, it's my life. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I just took this to, really crush someone's dreams and compliment myself. Yeah, I think we're in the right place. Let's move on to what I will be very soon, which is Deep Abandoned, which is a cooperative dungeon crawler for 1 to 4 players set in a bleak post-heroic fantasy world. It's raised $440, 23 backers. It must be a print and play. And you can get a PDF copy, I guess. Ever wanted to use your favorite hero and monster minis from different games together? Yeah, it's called kit bashing. This is cool. This game is for you if you're into fantasy-based tabletop games, you like dungeon crawlers, you love building and gathering your own minis and terrain. This is a miniature agnostic and terrain agnostic game. The book has all the rules and printable sheets. 10 heroes, 22 adventures, 3 legendary endings. Also Wastelands Highway, that's kind of fun, using cars. No real link to the rule book, but it's a decent sketch. If this sort of idea intrigues you, check it out. Seems like you can get a lot of characters and get the system, and you can check out this guy's YouTube for more information on that. Anyway, that finishes Thursday, May 11th at 1:43 a.m. Let's keep moving to maybe an actual game. Starlight. You play as a galactic trader buying and selling relics across many worlds. 2 to 4 players, 45 minutes. Let's check it out. See, this is tough. When it's a simple card game and it's £30, $51 Canadian, it's already fighting against every other card game that's cheaper than it. That's just the facts. See, this is why thumbnails are important. Knowing what's going to be overlaid on them. Starlight, turn. Turn by turn? No. Turn. Where's the rulebook? Where are you? And where's the shipping? No rulebook, no shipping information. Why would anybody ever back this game? I mean, it actually looks interesting. It does look interesting. You're going to have a grid of cards, and like right here, grid of cards. To move left and right, it costs you fuel. To move up and down, it costs you power. And then you're going to be purchasing relics that will be worth different prices depending where you are. So you check how many symbols there are in those cross sections. That's how much it costs to buy. That's how much it costs to sell if you already have it in your possession. Yeah, that all seems like kind of interesting, kind of fun. Definitely the most interesting thing I've seen this week so far in terms of my personal tastes. But then you don't have a rule book. And okay, you do have shipping. Shipping's okay. Shipping's on the drop down, so you get a pass for shipping. This still would cost me $85 to get to my door, in which case that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard for a little card game. But like a neat concept, definitely a neat concept. I'm curious. It says you can change the map and play cards. I'm curious how you do that. If when you go to a place, does that and you buy and you sell a relic, I'm assuming you remove that card from the game and add a new card in. That would make the most sense mechanically for me if I were designing this. So it's probably not that. Yeah, like a very interesting concept, just like too much and unclear for the specifics that I want. I like these little research cards. You can purchase these research cards to give yourself a consistent, I assume consistent, because they don't say, and there's no rule book, consistent plus or minus. That's always exciting to get those bonuses that help you specialize in certain resources, and you want to get the most money before everybody else gets it. But still, very disappointed that there isn't a rule book. No FAQs, 7 comments. This is neat though. Like all power to them. They're clearly printing it like not through a huge factory, through probably like a game crafters or something. Ivory. I don't know who Ivory is in the UK, but it says we aren't looking to cover the cost of the whole production run through a Kickstarter, just enough extra to make sure we can get the game printed. So they really just want to get this game printed, even though it is at an expensive price point. This feels like a real labor of love. It only has 24 backers though. It's just a red flag city over here, but it's not a large enough amount that I don't know what. It's not like if there's a scam. It's not like it could have been running a scam, but it just, I don't know. Definitely doesn't seem too good to be true, which means that you'll probably get it, as opposed to other companies out there that want you to spend more money. Anyway, that finishes Thursday, May 11th at 8:07 a.m. Looks interesting. I like the concept. I just think I need more to be actually interested, and I need less on the cost. Moving along to Magic to Ride PnP. That stands for Polly in Pocket. You know, when I was a kid, I loved Polly Pocket. I had a sweet Polly Pocket pull-out playhouse. It was in a little makeup case. It was awesome. It was so cool. I had that with my Mighty Max toys. Pretty dope. But it's print and play. It's not Polly Pocket on a Magic train ride because, well, that would be more expensive, and she would deserve every penny. This one's only £3. A strategy train management game where you have to last 30 days. Coop, last man standing. I bet it's co-op, but it seems like it's Coop. I'm sorry, you have to go through a probation period that's not less than 1 month? You're putting me on 30 days of probation before I can even work on the magical train riding company? This is ludicrous, okay? I need 2 training shifts max and it'll be under my belt. 30 days, I just don't know. I don't know if I can get behind this Magic to Ride magical train riding company. But you definitely seem like a real person and not an AI speaking to me, so I'll hear what you have to say. I take it back. I didn't realize I was going to occupy director's chair after 30 days. Now I'm interested. Solo mode, coupe mode, and last man standing mode. £3, $6 Canadian. I mean, they should be very clear in this that it's a print and play, that you don't get 85 passenger cards, because that would be ludicrous. Rulebook, thank goodness. It's almost, it's 3/4 down the page, but at least you got one. This is funny. So this is where you find them, and then the color is where they want to go, and multiple cities have different colors, so they don't care. You, as the magical train operator, you pick them up, and they say, I want to go see this seashore or something. Just take me somewhere, and you can decide. Your fate, their fate is in your hands. Now I can see why it's a 30-day probationary period. If you're going to be in charge of everybody's magical holiday plans, well, take him to the World Series of Board Gaming happening in Las Vegas, September 24th to the 28th. Okay. Yeah, it seems okay. It's about efficiency, action efficiency. The best way to play this will be competitive. You're all kind of managing the same train, and you're bouncing around from town to town and dropping people off and upgrading cabins and just trying to get the most points for bringing people to the right places, right? Like, if that sort of thing interests you, sure, check it out. Print and play, so it's cheap. I mean, it's a lot of cards, though, to be printing, to be honest, that I would probably opt for not. But if that sounds interesting to you, just that idea of that action efficiency, playing, I wouldn't play it single player. I mean, maybe single player. I wouldn't play it cooperatively, that's for sure. Or even coupe. I wouldn't even play the coupe mode. If you like print and plays, you like getting the table, check it out. I definitely wouldn't buy this sight unseen. It just seems I wouldn't be that interested in playing it, to be honest. But you might be. So if you're interested in that, check that out. That's Thursday, May 11th at 11:48 a.m. Moving along. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Honestly, this is brightening up my week. This is brightening up my day and my week. We've got Weirdwood Manor, a 1 to 5 player cooperative adventure of strategy, time, battling evil monsters and minions with an ever-shifting magical manor. I did a review of this. I did a preview of this, a review of this on my channel. The one issue that I had with it, I don't know if they're going to change, honestly, which makes me not as interested in it. Seriously, it was a really big deal for me. Let me get to some images. If you're interested in the full review of this, go check that out. Basically, you're going to be having a hand of cards that's equal to your health stat. You're going to play it on one of these little time tracks, and then you're going to move this time tracker to the hourglass of wherever you played it. So you see you played it in the blue section, so you're moving it to the blue. We played it over here in the night section. We have to keep on moving it into the night. And then you're going to take those actions. There's a bunch of different rooms that are open, and you can see by the image here that certain doorways are open and closed. So if we look carefully, the inner door is open, and then it turns, and the inner door is now closed, making that inner room inaccessible. But that's my main issue with the game, is this art design. I heard that these are going to be a bit thicker, so a little bit thicker in the final copy, which I think is good, but I don't know if there's going to be any art change, and I just find it so hard to read this at a glance because the map itself is very busy with a bunch of different room options, and it just needs to be clear as to which room options are open and which room options aren't, and I don't think it is clear. And that bogs down the game a little bit and is my only critique. Otherwise, it's pretty fun, and honestly, the production quality on this looks really good. It does. $82 Canadian, $60 US for the standard edition, or $85 US, $115 for the deluxe edition. Let's see the differences listed down further. Standard edition does come with dual layered player boards, though. That's really good. That's awesome. Cardboard standees. So you just get cardboard standees instead of the acrylic standees. So and like little scarab tokens and resource tokens. In the review, I had the upgraded components for all of these. The acrylics and that sort of stuff were really nice. But for $60 US, I don't know what the shipping is. We got to check it out. Yeah, deluxe edition, acrylic standees, and additional tokens. These tokens are fun. Completely not necessary. I don't know if they're worth the $25 bump for me, honestly, because I'm cheapy. Little quest cards. Oh yeah, even just looking at this, I'm sure rulebook right here. 2/3 down the page. Could be a little further up. That'd be great. Previews and reviews. I should be on here. Boom. There we go. That's me. Ruby Boob. Roomy Boord. Yeah, I'm over top of Alex. Take that, Alex. Yeah, it's a nice quote. I definitely said that. The reason, I'll tell you the reason now. See, $19 US shipping, so it'll be $79 US to get your door. And honestly, I feel like it might be worth it. 23 to Canada, that's good. 15 to the UK. I would just go for the standard edition pledge. I mean, there's 379 people have gone for it, 1630 gone for the other. The acrylic standees are really nice. The tokens are really nice, so if that matters to you. But what I really appreciated is the art style of this, the production quality of it, the turning the board is really fun. Accessing different rooms at different times is really fun, and it's a nice, light, cooperative game. I feel like it's not that complicated, but I'm scrolling through the campaign and I'm seeing everybody say, this is hard, this is difficult, watch out, this looks like a young adult protagonist to the board game, but it's really challenging. I thought it was, okay challenging. We felt like we were never really in danger of losing whenever we've played it. Anyway, the reason I wanted to cover this is because I played a prototype of this at Breakout Con like last year, and then I said, hey, by the way, I have a YouTube channel. If you're interested, I'll give you coverage because I think it's fun and I think people should know about the game. I really do. So I thought this one was a really nice, solid co-op. Team seems very passionate about it. It does bum me out that I find it a bit hard to read. It really does. And I got the sense, I like this. I like more room tiles because then there's a bit more variability. The room tiles, especially on the outer ring, they feel like there's going to be a lot of variability, but basically it's like 6 are open and 6 are closed every round. So it's not that significant, but it's a little significant. Oh, come here. Let me see this. Let there be corridor lights. We have lights now framing the opening in the corridor. Where are they? I mean, this looks nice, but okay, here's the lights right here. Just the little addition framing the open just to give it that little look. I can see it. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it if you look. Oh, I'd want those to be brighter though. They said this fantastic final solution. Oh, that's awesome though that backers were asking for. This is what I was asking for in my review. Oh, baby. This gets me excited. For a couple great suggestions from a couple of backers. Come on. That was friggin' my idea. But no, yeah, awesome backers, whoever you are, who are pushing for this. This is why Kickstarter is great, and you can push this forward. I want them to be brighter. What are people saying? Looks great. First revision for visual aid. Great compromise, thematic and readable. Love the compromise here, and the character the lights bring to the corridor. Look at that. I like the much better framing the doorways. I was kind of disappointed when they got taken out. Yeah. But honestly, they're so subtle that I didn't even really notice them. But now that I am looking around the board, I mean, anything helps because I found that to be really confusing and hard to read. And they are kind of readable now. Yeah, cool. I'd want them brighter, though. I want them brighter. Mike, if you're listening, I think they could be brighter. I think people will like your game more if they're a little brighter. Just a bit. I know you're going to play with it, but the fact that they are playing with it, oh man, that pumps me up. That's awesome. Yeah, because that was my biggest complaint, right? Like the readability gets difficult. You can see when you've zoomed out here, and there's so many things going on. But otherwise, if you like sort of pandemic style, I found it a bit pandemic style in terms of these scarabs that are scuttling out amongst the rooms and exploding and blighting rooms and turning them, Pandemic Spirit Island-ish. They're blighting rooms and flipping them over and making them not usable. If you like that sort of co-op and the art appeals to you, this was a really nice production copy. And so for me, it would be, for this standard edition, 82 Canadian, it would be about $100, and that is expensive. I would expect something like this would be along the same price as Spirit Island, though. In terms of like component quality, amount of components, for me, Spirit Island's about $80 Canadian. So getting this shipped it doesn't feel too horrible. I mean, it's still expensive. It's still going to be $100 Canadian. So make sure it's something you'd really, really enjoy. But I was quite impressed with the production quality of it. Of course, remember, I was using those sort of deluxeified components, but still, yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time. It's one that I was sad to send off because I wanted to play it a little bit more. So that should tell you something. Anyway, if you're interested in that finishes Thursday, May 11th at 4 p.m. Saving our friggin' week, Weirdwood Manor. Oh, baby. Let's keep it going with Forges of Ravenshire. I've perked up. Oh, I've perked up. God, I love this. Sometimes I was a bit, honestly, I was a bit down. Like, I'm a bit stressed about my computer and the editing that I'm going to have to be doing while I wait for the other one to come in. And just, you know, having to purchase one on the fly, that kind of stuff. But that sort of excitement and that listening to backer feedback, oh, that's just, they are all amazing. They are. Yeah, okay. Let's keep moving. Let's go. Moving along to Forges of Ravenshire, or Ravenshire. Run your forge in this 1 to 4 player dice placement engine building game. Compete for the title of Forge Master in Ravenshire. I'm going to call it Ravenshire, because that feels right. Well, Forge was really good. The last game about forges I quite enjoyed. I thought looked neat. So I hope this one's equally neat. Oh, I'm excited. It said Crow D Games, or Crowd Games Media, but then this is through BA Games, which... Oh, they did Cult of the Deep. I know these people. I heard this game is good. I haven't yet played it. My friend Reed has it, but I heard it's good. That's a social deduction one, though. This is an engine builder. Here we go. Oh, look at this. How to play section right at the top of the page. Could my day get any better? It could if there was a rule book right here. Could. Maybe it could. I don't care, though. First thing being how to play. Yeah, get it. Give me that. Love it. Or as they say in this solo mode, Ayo. It's the AO, the automated opponent. Oh, yes. Give me the rule book. God, this is the 1-2 punch that I needed. Okay, that dice placement seems a little bit not too bad. I was worried because sometimes in dice placement, if you just roll low, you're kind of screwed. And here you are, but there's just a range of resources that you get. So the range of resources feels a lot better. I mean, maybe it's the same proportions, right? Maybe that proportionizing is exactly the same, but if you roll like a 5 to 6, you get 2 of these clay and an additional thing, and then if you roll 3 or 4, you get 2 clay. If you roll 1 or 2, you get a clay, right? So it feels a bit better than, oh, I rolled a 6 and you rolled a 1. Haha, I get 6 resources, you get 1, and I win the game, right? That's my concern with a lot of these dice placement. That's why I think something like Lorenzo does it so well, because everybody uses the same numbers, so everybody's working with the same set of stuff, or things that use dice in like the high number for one side and then the low number for the another aspect, so it really balances the dice in those choice, and it's defined by like your color. Tiletum or Tiletum? It's Tiletum, come on. Just like it's side reel confluence. Or confluence? How can I mispronounce that even worse? But I like this. There are 2 avenues to consider here. You are going to be putting stuff on the main board, and then you are going to be running your own little production phase. And then basically you can complete your contracts. You get a bunch of resources. Yeah, this looks solid. Go around for 4 rounds. Craft as much as you can. What's the price? $60 US, 82 Canadian. It's the exact same as Weirdwood Manor. That's tough. That's tough competition. I think you get more in Weirdwood Manor. Custom insert, though. That's nice. Oh, and I love this. I saw this was happening, too, because I was watching a bit of the Seismic playthrough on Dice Tower, and their stretch goals are all around shipping. I love this. For every 100 backers, 20 cents off shipping, max 10 USD. Hopefully, you can get $10 off shipping. So we're at 600 backers right now, which means you get $1.20 off your shipping. And you know what? Total savings $1. No, total savings $1.20. Shipping discount only, because what's the shipping right now? Right now to the US, 18 to 20. So it could go down to 10. And if it does go down to 10, that would be great. Right? I think this looks interesting. There's nothing necessarily, though, that really makes it set itself apart in this dice placement genre, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I like all the actions that you kind of get to do. I like that you can get guild members. I like that you can build upgrades to your forge to make your own dice and your own production phase more effective. What is the most interesting thing, and this is where that dice mitigation comes in. I kind of went off on a tangent. I meant to say it back then, is when you get to place a dice, and then you get to take a dice. So if somebody puts out a really good dice in a spot that you want, you can also take it. So you kind of get that flow. I haven't played Encyclopedia, but I think it was similar. Well, in Encyclopedia, you can use other people's dice. And that is sort of color dependent as well, which does seem fun the more I think about it, you know? And that you're building up these different guilds, and so you're going to want to take back certain colors to activate your guilds. I am a bit confused as to, if you go first, what die you take, though, because presumably there are no dies on the board. I don't see where it says that. Because it says you can't take the same die you just placed, right? Which makes sense. So there's got to be dice that just start on the board. That would make the most sense, to give you multiple options. Did I miss that in setup? Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, it's in the main board setup. You roll the dice, boom, 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 boom. There's only 2 spots on each, so you place it and you take it. Done. Usually I skip the setup and just go to the rules, but it's important because that's where that information comes from. Yeah, so you can see right here that there's 2 green dice, 2 yellow dice, and 2 purple dice already out there. So first player, you go, you put your dice out, you take 1 back. I like that. The more I think about that, I like that as a flow. Does that do enough to mitigate bad rolls? Yeah, I think so. If you have 6 dice out there to start with, then you're rushing for those, and you're putting your specific ones in a spot, the low ones in a spot where you know people want them, so that they can't capitalize on that, right? I feel like then maybe I would want to play this more at 2 players for that head-to-head, back and forth idea. Because if I'm trying to block something, there's no real way to block something if you're playing with more than 2. Yeah, it still looks interesting. Again, that's sort of $82. It's $100 Canadian for me. This is one where I would be interested at 60. I do like that it seems a little bit dual layered as well. I mean, it's probably good, same production quality as Weirdwood Manor. I've just played Weirdwood Manor and had, have that more experience, but it looks like a really nice production. So yeah, this one looks neat the more I think about it. Check it out. That finishes Thursday, May 11th at 9 p.m. Moving along, no. I'm not covering this. The only reason I clicked on this, Smonz, a unique card game for building sassy monsters, strategic and fun for the whole family. Yeah, because they said sassy. That's the only reason. 7 backers wanting to get this sassy monster card game, and you know what? I also want a sassy monster card game. Is it going to be any good? Probably not. You're just building sassy monsters together, though, and it's not going to fund. So 7 people have spent £275 on it? No. That's the initial startup fund to make it seem okay, and then 6 people spending £10. £10 a game, though, for this little thing? Should we look at it? Seems like we are. Just put sassy in your title, and your boy's going to be interested. I mean, no shipping, no rule book, nothing. 2-minute overview of the game. Each monster part has value. The higher the value, the sassier monsters will be. The player with the sassiest monster wins. You can play things and pass them to other people. Yeah, I get it. All right, let's move on to Teotihuacan, City of Gods Deluxe Master Set. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Beloved worker placement Euro strategy game, rated top 100 on BGG. New art, new expansions, and new standalone version. I'm excited because I've never played this game. And am I going to jump right in for the deluxe version when I haven't played it and could just get the retail version at a store? Well, no. The answer's no. But I do like looking at pretty things, as evidence by Smonz. So let's take a look and see what this has to offer. I mean, that is glorious. That gets me hyped. I've never even played the game, and it didn't tell me anything about the game, and it just said, hey, you want tokens? We got tokens. You want imprints? We got imprints. You want carpets? We got carpets for you, baby. Everybody lay down these carpets, these neoprene carpet mats, where you can play on fully silk. You want a man to come in with the entire board tattooed on his sculpted body? We've got that in spades. That's the deluxe edition. We'll come to your house. Make your game nights a night to remember. You can only guess where the 3D pyramid is going to go. Number 80 overall. A bunch of stuff. I need to see how much it is. The box of holding, you have everything you need already. The only thing you could dream of would be a beautiful big box to keep it in one place. If you want just the box without the custom insert, you can pay 18 euros for a box. Who's going to take that idea? 79 backers. What? Why? You don't even get the insert. At least go for the double-sided playmats. And the new art. You want new art? We got new art. I'm on a horse. That's what it feels like. Special edition. Gameplay all in. 119 euros. Yes, thank you for splashing cold, cold water all over me. I'm looking at Board Game Bliss, because 401 Games didn't get back to my email. I mean, I haven't emailed Board Game Bliss yet either, but Teotihuacan, City of Gods, 57 Canadian. I mean, it's sold out. But there's probably going to be a reprint coming back in because it's number 80 on Board Game Geek, and that shouldn't scare you away just because it's currently sold out. 54 Canadian, bit cheaper, and 10 available online. Get your FOMO out of the gutter. But if it's your favorite game of all time, I understand. I understand wanting to have those deluxeifications for your favorite game. I get that. If it's not, well, that's not who this is for. And honestly, I think that's actually great that the video was not about even teaching you the game. or telling you anything you need to know about the game because it knows who this is for, and it's for the people who absolutely love this game and want to spend inexplicably $178 Canadian plus shipping to get something that they could get for a quarter of that. Almost a quarter. But they do get bags. You want bags? I got bags. You want the late pre-classical period? You want the late pre-classic period? I got the late pre-classic period. The Shadow of Zittle? Shadow of Vittles. I'm curious though if their tiles are double-sided though. They haven't made that clear. Just with alternative art. See how double-sided is larger and then the alternative art is smaller? You think double-sided? I think value. No, it's just alternate art. But I think it's great. Also that's an awesome touch, right? Dragon Bond, which I'm very excited for it to come in at some point, that I ended up playing over at on Quacklope's channel, it has a dual-sided board, and the alternate art is kind of significant, depending upon what you like. You can play the base game online on Tabletopia for free. That's something that I would be interested in. I've heard really good things. Obviously, it's top 100 Board Game Geek. Like, it's going to be interesting. I've never read the rules for it, though. Until today. Oh, this is going to confuse me. Maybe I shouldn't read the rules because I'm not getting this version. I'll get the gist of it, though. The art might confuse me if I remember it. You also shuffle the action boards. Okay, cool. So your actions are going to be different. Don't do that. The starting cards, you make your own choice. Keep 2. It's like Prelude. Well, that's cool. So this is the main concept, is that you're going to have your workers are dice, right? It's dice placement. You're going to have different action boards, and you're going to have locked workers and unlocked workers. Locked workers, you have to pay 3 cacao. Is that what they said? 3 cocoa. I was close. To unlock all of your workers, or you can forfeit your turn to unlock them all. So obviously you don't want to do that unless it's your last. Then you can move a worker 1, 2, or 3 spaces, and you can either worship, collect cocoa, or perform the main action. The main action of that specific board. It's games like these where, maybe it's just getting late in the night, but it's games like these where I realize where people's eyes will fall out. This is why the board gaming hobby still stays niche. And that, like, this I think is very interesting, but it's also just all these little rules that I feel are very important sometimes might make people's heads explode. Like, every action board has its own unique action that you can take. And anytime you move into there, you have to pay a cost depending upon the number of people that are there. And you can go right into worship, or you can go right to the main board to try to use the main action, which all does these different stuff of generating new resources, etc., etc. But it seems fairly simple in terms of the main elements are going to be these action boards and moving through them and figuring out what dice you have to move around and get the things that you need to construct the temples. I gotta learn Teotihuacan. I love that it's still out there. I love that you can do it on Tabletopia. Wish it was on Board Game Arena, because then I could just click around until I can figure it out. But yeah, this is just a ridiculous price for it that nobody should purchase. Just none. When you can get the game for $54.95 Canadian. Even still, if you're a big fan of the game, looks like a lovely addition. That's way too expensive and nobody should get. But that finishes Friday, May 12th at 2 p.m. Oh yeah, I'm doing things that day too. Oh, frick. It's okay, I can edit that night. All right. Moving along to glory! Uncover buried treasure and engage in exciting naval battles to go down in history as the most glorious pirate in the high seas. Let's see the day. No. Okay, useless. I do know Vesuvius Media, though. They're the ones in Halifax, where I'm going very soon. So I better not disparage them, or else they'll find me in the park and punch me out. But they did the Dwarf Sevens, which honestly, come punch me, because I gotta punch you for that dumb name. Just call it Seven Dwarves. Don't make me say Dwarves Sevens every time, or Dwarves, and then people don't know if you're talking about the actual Dwarves game. Honestly, one of the worst titles in board gaming history is Dwarf Sevens, Vesuvius Media, and I'm not sorry about it. Dwarf Sevens Winter, oh, it burns in my mouth, but that's actually a fun game. I enjoyed it. Renee didn't, and so we got rid of it, but I enjoyed it. I'm also very much enjoying this potential of flicking cannonballs at people's standees who are standing up. Yeah, this is all I need to know that this looks really good. Oh yeah, that's all I need. Your treasure awaits victory. Yup. Where's the how to play though? Give me the how to play first. I don't care what's in it yet. Metal treasure chests and 50 metal coins. Why are the prices not up here, Vesuvius Media? Like, get it together. Is it because they're too expensive? No, 45 US. Yeah, put that on your standard edition. 70 US for the metal coins, sure, whatever, who cares? Why are these not up there? Come on, get it together. Rulebook and reviews. There we go. Thank you. Thank you for having the rulebook at the top. I appreciate that. That's it. 2 pages. Oh. Player may perform up to 5 actions, any combination of move, steer, or explore, 1 cannon volley, use once their captain's ability, also use their captain's ability once, or 1 captain ability. You're from Halifax. This is Mariner stuff. In any order they choose. For example, 2 moves, use your captain ability, shoot a cannon, steer, move, finally explore. Cool. And you can move your ship or the Kraken, so everyone gets to control the Kraken. See, I like that too, that everybody gets to control the Kraken. That's fun. This is really fun though. You get gold if you hit people with your cannon volleys. You want to go next to islands. You see all these islands to search for map fragments to try to find a treasure map so that you can dig up some more gold. When a player collects their second treasure, the game ends at the end of that round. Then you can compare collected glory. This just looks like really fun, great for kids. What a great concept. Everything fits assembled in the box. That's huge because that's so annoying when you have like cardboard stuff. And 45, 60 Canadian? That feels reasonable for something like this. A fun, epic cardboard flicking adventure. What's your shipping? Okay, why is this link giving me nothing important? Oh, that's collected via the High Pledge Manager. We'll charge shipping after the Kickstarter concludes. So where's your estimate? There we go. Okay, I was about to lose it. $20 to Canada, 15 to US. Rough estimates. EU 13. Okay, great. So yeah, $60 US for this. $80 Canadian. When it gets to that point, it's a bit much, right? Still, looks fun. If you have a family, again, and yours wasn't kidnapped by bears, well, then check it out. Unfortunately for me, well, you all know how that goes. That finishes Friday, May 12th at 7 p.m. Moving along to Milkman, a legendary dice and delivery game. Use dice to process and deliver milk to thirsty customers in 1950s America. You know them customers in 1950s America are thirsty for the Milkman Hanny. You know that is the truth. Everybody wants what the Milkman's selling, I'll tell you. He's going door to door, pays to be a milkman in 1950s America. You got to keep the cows happy, process and deliver whole skim and chocolate milk. Those chocolate milk cows, those brown cows, everybody wants them. Everybody wants to suckle from their teat of life. I had some chocolate milk today at Costco, and let me tell you, it definitely whet my whistle. Rulebook. Here we go. Rulebook was, in the top third of the page. That's pretty good. Cool, so on your turn, everybody's going to roll 2 black dice, and if it's your turn, specifically, you get to roll the special 4 white dice. And just roll that milk all over you. Just cover yourself in milk. Just like Whoopi would want you to. What's also fun is you can do the standard reroll your dice, but you can't reroll the white dice. You have to pay money to reroll the white dice. I already love this as a start, right? Like these very clear, simple, you can see the flow of the game just by knowing that information, which is great. You can spend $4 to change the facing of one of their die at any time. Very simple. 6 actions in the game. Earn money. Milk cows. Bottling. So bottle raw milk into bottled milk. Labor. Get some customers or upgrade your farm. Cool, delivery seems easy. You have a number of actions that you can use to load and deliver and move your trucks. 2 of a kind give you whatever you want. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you can claim customer cards and you put them on your own zones and build out your own sort of farm. And then that's how you can deliver them to you. You can see this little truck down that's going to go to the furthest, etc. I wonder if they stack, though. Players may place multiple customer cards on the same neighborhood zone on the dairy farm board. So you can go to the same zone and that will help with your delivery because you're delivering into a neighborhood zone. Great. Yeah, very simple. 30 US, 40 Canadian. Art looks nice. Components look nice. Yeah, shipping really is the worst. It's true. This is cool. Yeah. I, Chris, understand that you have... I think I have to read this out loud. I think that was the reason. Not because the creator's name is Chris. No. I, Chris, understand that you have a choice in how to spend your gaming money and truly do appreciate your patience with shipping. I do. I've said it many times in the past that shipping can be a silent killer for independent crowdfunding endeavors. So it's important to myself and all involved that I be honest about shipping so that all backers may make an informed decision. Great job. You're better than Mythic Games. USA? $8 to $10. Really good shipping price. Really good. Nothing to be upset about. Canada, Mexico, and the rest of the world? Yeah, probably not. But $8 to $10, so you get this for $40 for a little dice rolling game about moving milk around. I mean, it definitely seems fun. These are obviously the points you get for delivering a full order, making people happy. Very simple. Really, if we think about, let's think through the strategy of the game and what's going to be interesting about it. But if we really think about it, the interesting thing here comes from planning out what you create and drafting these customers and fulfilling it. It seems good, right? Like for, $40 US, this can get to your door if you're interested. Looks neat. I like unique themes, so it's really got that going. I think if it was a different theme, I would be much less interested, but it isn't. So yeah, unique themes really do it for me, I'm finding. Anyway, that finishes Friday, May 12th at 10 p.m. Moving along to Toasty Toasts. I mean, I don't think so. Why'd you open this? Because it had funded. That's why. Action cards are used to help you with your play or sabotage other people. That's all we really need to know, right? You play your action cards, you try to stack all your toasts together. And this is a good origin story. When I tried out a new board game with friends, we completely messed up the rule because it was complicated and the game took forever. I wish there were a fun and simple game that I can carry with me and play with anybody. There is. You know what it's called? Dutch Blitz. That's what it's called. Or, yeah, I need to try this. Broken and Beautiful, which I backed on Kickstarter. Or Mind Bug, which I just got the copy and played once. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I don't think it's worth most people's time on this channel, but if you want a quick take that combo toast making board game, trying to pair things up in this little sort of set collection. See, I don't mind the set collection. It kind of reminds me of Sea Salt and Paper, right? Of trying to get the right things. You draw 2 cards, you play 2 cards, you want to combo things together. If you want a light card drawing game that has a food theme to it, check out Chili Mafia. Pablo would be happy about that shout out. Anyway, you can check this out. It's print and play is $5, right? $20 for a physical copy, which is too much for what this is. But print and play $5, sure. Anyway, that finishes Saturday, May 13th at 11:25 a.m. Moving along to Flamboyance, the card game based on animal group names. No, it's not. It's based on me. A marmalade of ponies? No, that can't be it. A glaring of cats? A paddle of platypus? Yeah, this is a great concept. A tower of giraffes. An embarrassment of penguin. No, an embarrassment of pandas. Well, yeah. Have you seen them? Add some color into your fur, pandas. Yeah. Who are you? A bear in the newspaper? Oh no. Why do I have to pick pandas? Why do I have to pick bears? Why has it got to be bears? A murder of crows. Well, that seems a little apt, talking about bears. An unkindness of ravens. I've known ravens to be scary, yes. I know one raven who's quite a nice raven, who watches my show. But the other ravens, there was another raven who I saw when I was in Ireland, and who stole the sausage roll right out of my hand. And so that raven, I would say, was unkind. A flamboyance of flamingos, and many more real animal collective nouns you probably wouldn't have known or remembered until now. It's a set collection, but you get to remember these names. How much is it? £17, 29 Canadian, so like $20 US. Same as Toast. This one's more exciting than Toasty Toast, and it's basically the same game. Look, you can draw 2 cards. You can play up to 2 actions. Play 3 sets of different colors. But with many influential cards in the deck, it might not be easy. It's the exact same game as Toasty Toast. It's the same thing. You want to create sets. A wobble of ostriches? An aurora of polar bears. Yes, give me more. A murder of crows. A pandemonium of parrots. I knew that one. A parliament of owls. Didn't know that. A curiosity of kittens. That's fake. Somebody Wikipedia'd that wrong. That's my bet. A skulk of foxes. That makes sense. A prickle of porcupines. A stench of skunks. A tuxedo of penguins. Yeah. A raft of otters. I have ridden on a raft of otters, and let me tell you that animal cruelty knew no bounds. Just kidding. They all worked together. They all held hands. And they sent me sailing down the river. And it was beautiful. And it wasn't a dream, I swear. A bob of seals. I knew a seal named Bob. He was a perfect gentleman. A troubling of goldfish, which reminds me I have to go check on Candy Muse. A camouflage of chameleons, a bouquet of peacocks. Next Valentine's Day, don't give her a bouquet of roses. Give her a bouquet of peacocks. They're just all there. Meow! Meow! That's what peacocks sound like. Look it up. Flamboyance of flamingos. A business of ferrets, because as we know, ferrets are always the most businesslike. A litter of puppies. Yeah, we knew that. A wisdom of wombats. I didn't know that. I love wombats, and now I love them even more. A cackle of hyenas. Yeah, get over yourself, Lion King. A tower of giraffes. See, some of these just feel a little too on the nose, right? Stuff like a waddle of ostriches. Yeah, interested. A confusion of wildebeests? Yeah, makes sense. Nobody knows why they exist. A conspiracy of lemurs? Yeah, I've seen Madagascar. That tracks. But a tower of giraffes? I don't know. That just feels like someone was intimidated by the long neck. A buffoonery of orangutans. Well, it might as well be a buffoonery of Arumabururi. Arumabururi. A rumpus of baboons. A shrewdness of apes. Yeah, tell me about it. Andy Serkis knows that. Andy Serkis probably pioneered that. And a whoop of chimpanzees. This is quite lovely. You know what? I feel like we all have the wisdom of wombats after this segment. Lovely. I mean, I don't think the game is going to have longevity, but I think it would be fun to pull out because people would love to know these, and I am very happy that I know them as well. A marmalade of ponies? That's just wild. A destruction of something? Oh, I did not see everything. I must purchase. If you're interested in purchasing, that finishes Sunday, May 14th at 7:21 a.m. Moving along to Papillion Gardens. This hasn't backed a stamp and write game about creating your own butterfly garden. Hasn't backed, but I am going to cover it because I'm doing this a little bit early. It's by Colossal Games, and I assume it'll back because they're pretty good. This might be the last one because the last two that I have down there look really bad, and I don't think I should subject you to them. And I have another video to film after this. Actually, two, if I'm being honest. This week's worth of videos I'm trying to get done, if I can. Well, I'll still need to edit and B-roll and edit, but we won't think about editing just yet. Let's move on to a Papillion of Gardens. A garden of papillons, I think. A garden of butterflies. I'm sure that's the technical term. Yeah, it looks solid. Not sure why that's not funded. Maybe it's too expensive. $35? Yeah. No, one copy of Papillion Garden, $20. $35 for the Deluxe. Oh, the Deluxe edition with stamp. With one set of Deluxe stamps with ink pads. So you don't get stamps, which is seem to be their only key feature. They're like, hey, what if a roll and write had stamps? Let's make a game. And honestly, it looks pretty good. You're going to collect, you're going to draw patterns together and then stamp these patterns. And the stamp ink pads look really fun with some flower stamps. And then what do you do if you don't have that? The base pledge is $20. Deluxe ink peg, deluxe wooden stamps. No, you get your flower stamps, though. You get the flower stamps in the base game. That's good. You just don't get the frog stamps. You don't get these stamps, basically. Can I say stamps anymore? Probably. Yeah, $20 though. I don't know if you... I mean, the stamps are fun, right? The stamps are the main draw. Would you pay another $15 for 11 deluxe wooden stamps? I don't know. I think I'd be fine with the flower stamps. And then the Super Deluxe, somebody will come to your house and give you your own stamp, a butterfly stamp on your lower back. And you know what? I'm sure it'll look beautiful. I'm not going to shame you because I have one myself. No, I have all of my patrons' names, as we know, tattooed on my body. And honestly, it's all in that area too, all on the lower back. I want to be clear. That's where I get all my patrons' names tattooed. Read the draft rules. That's what I want. 3/4 down the page. Okay, so it's roll and write. You don't have to fight over picking the dice and flower card. You get both. The dice will give you caterpillars. Caterpillars will give you additional bonuses as you fill in this track down below. You'll want to get these critters, which will give you victory points. And what I also like about this round track is that every round you get kind of like a little individual bonus of that round, which is kind of fun. Just gives you that little woof. Oh, I'm getting this thing. It gives you things to look forward to, which I wish I had. I wish I had that. Cool, and there's a number of different features that will be drawn at the beginning of the game too. These features, when you add them into your garden, they do a specific thing, and that's how you can chain things together. Kind of like Tiny Towns, I feel. Those features are going to be random. They're always going to have the base features, and then there's going to be different ones to switch things up, so that when you add features, you have a choice, right? And that makes your garden a little bit more unique than just your choice of flowers, etc. And so you want to divide things up and make flower patches, because that'll double your points. And then you score your points for all the features. And yeah, it's features and flowers and how they interact and work together. Seems neat. No reason why this isn't funding right now. What's the shipping? 12 Deluxe Garden? 12 to USD? Look, they even put the higher number first. Basic pledge 10. So you get this for $30 for the base pledge. Maybe you'll be able to get it cheaper at retail. That seems pretty reasonable for an all right roll and write. $40, yeah. You might be able to get cheaper at retail, but by like $5 or $10, I don't know. Seems neat. I don't know if it's neat enough for me to pull the trigger on, but it's definitely solid. If you like roll and writes and that sort of thing, and the theme speaks to you, and you get to stamp things, come on. That finishes Tuesday, May 16th at 9:57 a.m., so check that out if you're interested. Oh no, we're definitely going to check this out because it's raised a lot of money. Perhaps it was just the last one that didn't look that interesting. Next up, we have Berserkers by Alone Editions, a solo card and dice game. And it's raised 60,000 euros, $89,000 Canadian. Let's take a look. Oh, I'm really glad that they emphasized that there's the 470 million combinations of this 12-card grid. Thank goodness, because you know what would really shake up my game is if it was the same grid, but if 2 cards were switched, because that's a different combination, and it absolutely would make a huge difference to my gaming experience. Thank goodness. No, I'm just kidding. I love modular boards, but like, let's tone it down a bit, okay? Nobody's going to buy your game because you say you have 470 million combinations, because 469 wouldn't be enough. Like, get real. I think we've covered something very similar to this, though, in terms of moving around on this grid. These action cards look really familiar. Rolling 4 dice looks really familiar. I bet this is a reskin of something. Or maybe I just forgot the name. The Spirit of Eden. That's what it was. This is absolutely just the Spirit of Eden, but a little bit bigger. You see the system? God, I'm good. You see the system down here? These dice systems? Boom. Same thing right here. Boom. But it seems actually a little bit fleshed out, because Spirit of Eden had a 9-card grid. And Berserkers, well, they have 470 million possibilities for their card setup. So it's definitely different. Oh, I remember the Spirit of Eden very fondly because it had one of my favorite jokes in all of Crowdfunding Countdown, with my Uncle Larry at the buffet getting into the Spirit of Eden. So stupid. This does look like it has a few extra elements to it, though, with some side quests and etc. Things you can develop up top. But I do like this idea of the rolling the 4 dice and then assigning them to this action card, right? I found that novel in the Spirit of Eden, and I thought it's interesting here as well. I like that you can spend gold to re-roll. You can have some dice mitigation there, but to an extent. Rulebook, gimme. 12 location cards. Oh, so it's just 12 factorial. That's where you get 479 million. Probably closer to 479,001,600, really. I just did quick math in my head. Don't worry about those cuts. Just trust me. Don't worry about the cuts, okay? I did it in my head. Your goal of the game is to light the 8 protective fires of Odin. Move your Berserkers to the location cards that have the fire symbol, and then perform the light a protective fire action. There you go. So you got to do that while battling off all the Shadow Riders, etc. Oh, but that's not all. To win the game, you also have to complete the King's Requests. So those are the side quests that are actually main quests, because you have to complete them to win the game. Well, that's cool. If you don't want to use your dice, you can then go up this little villager assistance. So you basically spend 4 dice to get an item, or 1 gold, so obviously an item. End of the game. The game is won when you've lit the 8 protective fires, marked the 3 Shadow Riders with the Sacred Seal, and survived or completed the King's Requests drawn during setup. I mean, I remember enjoying that action selection system back in Spirit of Eden. Oof, though, this is expensive. 38 euros, 57 Canadian. Shipping is small, though, because it's a small box, but that's a lot to pay for a small box. It's like $70 for this game. Yikes. Like 70 Canadian? No. I think it looks passable. I think it looks interesting, and I really do like that action dice system that excited me from Spirit of Eden. But just not worth that much to me. That's a really tough ask, but a lot of people have grabbed it. So you know what? It's the 10th time they're doing a campaign. Good on ya. If you're interested in that, finishes Tuesday, May 16th at 2:02 p.m. You know what? This is interesting enough that I might as well mention it. It seems very simple. It's called Swirling Heroes. I thought I was going to skip it. Basically, it's a tile placement game, but you're playing cards down. You have your own color of cards that you're putting down. Every time you put it next to somebody, you swirl the hero. You swirl it because you have numbers that match, and then you flip them, and then you'll swirl them around. And basically your points at the end of the game are whatever's on the edge, whatever is exposed to the outside numbers. So you want to stop. Yeah, clearly green is going to win in this instance because it has 2 cards that have 3 edges, right? Like, that's just the very obvious strategy. That would make sense. So yeah, seems okay. What is it? 20 bucks? No, 19 bucks US. Oh, so much better than 20. It makes it, I can recommend it. Again, like, too expensive for what it is, but there you go. Maybe an interesting concept. Maybe that'll get your design juices flowing. That finishes Tuesday, May 16th at 12:29 p.m. And then finally, by popular request, or by singular request, somebody was so inspired by the amount of miniature pornography that's out there that they sent me some more to let you all know about. If you didn't want gnomes and you didn't want Mayan goddesses, well, of course you could get kitty heroes, miniatures for tabletop D&D, because of course this kitty hero needs her blouse open, just flapping in the breeze like Miley Cyrus filming flowers. God, that's a good video. Well, if you want to live your kitty hero fantasy, that already finished, but there's your shout out. there's a lot of STLs, honestly. Like, if I could probably come up with a funny STL, like, 3D printed thing every week. I really could. There's just too much. But that's it for the week. We made it to the end. Thank you for being here. Every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you. Pick for me being the thing that I'm the most interested in, and the pick for you being the thing that I think if you get, you'll enjoy. This is tough, honestly. I mean, there's a number one, obviously. Let's call it a number one and a number two, because I don't think there's a pick for me, pick for you. I think it's like a first, and then we'll give a second shout out. Pick for me, we'll call that first, is obviously going to be Weirdwood Manor. Really did enjoy this one. Feels like you're going to get good component quality for this. My excitement with the lights makes me feel okay in potentially recommending this. I still think it's going to be a bit busy, though. If nothing had changed, I wouldn't have been recommending it. That's how passionate I feel about this change, about these lights in terms of the readability of the game. And it just makes me so happy. And then pick for you is either Papillion Gardens. I think it looks decent. I think it looks like very simple, very decent. Or, To Glory was good too. You know what? I was going to make it Forge. Forge of Ravenshire stuck out in my mind, even though I said it was dice placement, and then I didn't think it was that much. But you know what? It might be To Glory. To Glory does look fun. Yeah, maybe it's To Glory. I don't know. You know what? Since I'm waffling so much, none of them. It's just Weirdwood Manor, and then, like, go to your local store and get yourself a treat. Get yourself the game that you wanted to spend. Think about what you could get for 60 bucks at retail. That's always how it is, right? Anyway, that's it. That's it for the week. Let me know, as always, what you're backing, what you're excited by, if any of these particularly excited you, and why. You can champion them down in the comments below, and people will listen to you more than me because you're smart and I'm idiot. Yeah, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you all. I just do. I think you're all great. Time for me to film the deathmatch recap, which will be coming out on Wednesday. If you want to find out what's going to be the best unaffordable game of all time, well, you could look at any crowdfunding countdown, or you could look at the upcoming Wednesday deathmatch. Anyway, yeah, thanks for being here. Love you all. My name's Chris George, and I don't have a catchphrase. I don't have a catchphrase. But if you ever want advice on how to defend yourself and you're holding a sword, well, take it from the kiddies and just defend yourself like that. I'll see you in the next one.